Be a miracle, but if he does start coming around and wanting to communicate somehow, that we can get there quickly.
If Douglas does survive and can speak, his testimony could be crucial in identifying his attackers. But the Trident team knows this is an outside chance. They compare the statements taken from witnesses, including Douglas's stepdaughter.
Natalie, who's somebody that we want to go and speak to today, has got more knowledge of what's going on than anybody, I think, at this stage, because she's the one who's fully aware that at some point this is kicking off and it's going to get worse. Mum and Natalie were still outside the premises, according to Mum, when Natalie turns around and says, "Mum, out of the way." She was closer to the gunman than Douglas. His face was covered, he was hooded and his face was covered from the nose downwards. But she was able to say that he was light-coloured, fair complexion, mixed race, IC3 with greeny blue eyes. And she said, I was close enough to see the colour of his eyes. And he was cold, he fired the shot. She turned and saw Douglas falling over, put his hand to his head, which is remarkable considering the injuries. And he said he just walked calmly away.
Another witness saw some young men flee from the direction of the gunshot.
About 2 to 3 minutes later, she says she sees a group of 6 to 8 black youths, all over 20, somewhere between 20 and 30. She admits she's not very good with age. They're all sort of wearing baggy, dark clothing, but one of them has got this distinctive hat on. It's got the pieces that come over the ears with the tassels on the end, which are hanging down, and she says that one of them in the group states, "I'm glad I did that," as directly as they are outside her front garden, and she looks up and she believes that to come from the man with the hat. She would recognise them again and she's willing to go to court.
It's only 2 days since the shooting. Unusually, Trident already has witnesses willing to identify Douglas's attackers. What's more, they'll testify against them. Officers spread the word that anyone involved in the fight must hand themselves in. Within hours, a member of the Meridian crew gives himself up.
It's our understanding, our information, that part of that crowd where missiles were thrown, bricks, etc. And I formally arrested him for conspiracy to murder.
The arrested man lives at the address in Meridian Walk where the gang hung out.
Yeah. There is a moral issue here. We've got a man critically ill in hospital. The prognosis is not good. Hopefully he'll pull through. But clearly, if you've been arrested for conspiracy to conspire with others to commit a murder, fortunate enough at the moment it's not, it's an attempted murder, then clearly, if you've done nothing wrong, you would like to clear your name.
The detectives believe the suspect knows more than he is willing to reveal.
Right, so we've done the interview. Like, put a tooth to start with. I think he wanted to see what we knew.
He says he came out of his house and he's seen the gunman, because as soon as he saw the gun, he's ran away. And when he's run away, he's heard a loud bang.
But he knows that we know one of them was on the phone, but we won't say who. We wanted him to say who. He wouldn't say who, so we didn't tell him who it was. But it's got him thinking.
After a night in custody, the suspect is released on bail while the investigation team gathers more evidence. They need to identify both the masked gunman with the greeny blue eyes and the man who called him in. Seasoned detective DC Kevin Stones makes a major breakthrough.
I like to go and tap into the local knowledge of the officers who know the local criminals on their ground. And after 20 minutes, half hour of running through the computer, up popped the face of David Gaynor, who you can see has got distinctive greeny blue eyes. Also went into the intelligence system, which shows him having access to a red Rover with the MG kit attached to it.
10 weeks before the shooting, 19-year-old David Gaynor was stopped in a red Rover. When approached, he ran away but was caught. A police check revealed he had twice failed to appear in court for possessing an offensive weapon. In the Rover at the time was another man.
If we go into the custody imaging.
The other person in the car with Gaynor was Simeon Shapush, a suspected drug dealer with a history of violence. When searched, he was found with £850 in cash.
Simeon Sipuz could be interpreted as being Sykes, believed to be the person who called the gunman on. So it's looking good that we've got two good suspects here.
If Shapush is Sykes and his blue-eyed friend Gaynor, the gunman, Trident has made a great leap forward. 4 days after the shooting, Trident gets another break. Sykes and some of the Meridian crew are spotted. The team plans a raid.
From information received from people at the scene, from witnesses and from people who have been interviewed already, certain people in that group of 6 to 8 have been identified. Their names mainly are Merrick Hamilton and this male by the name of Sykes. Unfortunately, we don't know anything about this male of Sykes apart from 2 days ago he was alleged to be dossing down in a squat, which is where we're going today. The victim, Douglas Mullins, is still in intensive care. His condition is stable but critical, and it's doubtful what his prognosis for the future will be. Strong smell of cannabis inside the house, so we're just going to have a quick chat to him.
The squat where Sykes was seen is a safe house used by the Meridian crew. There's intelligence they hid here after the shooting to decide what to do next. Sykes is no longer at the squat, but another member of the Meridian crew is found and taken in for questioning. Police check the flat for items which may link the gang members to the crime. While the search team examines the squat, the arrest team heads for the family address of another gang member.
It looks like him through the neck curtain.
Open the door,
Open the door, we'll open the door, please.
fucking bed, you
No, okay, Lawrence, if you don't come down, I'm going to put the door in, mate. It's a dog, it's a dog, it's a dog.
He's coming.
Hurry up, then.
Come on.
We'll give you plenty of time.
The girl's coming to the door, man. Hold on. Come in, man.
You are arrested, mate. Suspicion of conspiracy to murder. Do you understand that?
We're going to Stoke Newington Police Station, all right?
Trident now has another suspect to interrogate. But there's still no sign of David Gaynor, the alleged gunman.
This is from the various witness statements that have been put together. They give, so unfortunately there's not much to look for on clothing front.
The detectives believe they've found one of the men who fought with the Mullings family. They hope he'll provide a lead to Gaynor.
So we'll see what he's got to say. So he was sleeping with his solicitor's card next to his phone in his bedroom, so he was obviously expecting the call and wanted his brief as quickly as possible.
The suspects are taken to Tottenham Police Station for questioning. Later that day, they're released on bail. Trident decides to take no further action against those they'd suspected of being involved in the original fight. They concentrate on finding those guilty of the attempted murder. At Edmonton Police Station, another man wanted by Trident gives himself up. During the fight, Merrick Hamilton was spotted handing his phone to Sykes. Hamilton is accompanied by his solicitor and submits a prepared statement.
Sykes bumped into a parked vehicle. The owner of the other vehicle started arguing. Sykes advised him he was responsible for the damage and he would pay for it. The owner then took out a saw and started to attack Sykes. At no time was I violent towards anyone or abusive to anyone. At no time did I see the gunman. At no time did I state they knew the gunman or arrange for him to attend. He elected to make no further comment. A phone has been seized and his SIM card, I understand, was secreted or placed, hidden, whatever you want to call it, on top of the architrave of the door in the kitchen.
Trident has intelligence that Hamilton's phone was used to call the hitman who shot Douglas Mullings. But Hamilton refuses to comment. Without more evidence, police must let him go. At the hospital where Douglas Mullings is being treated, his wife remains at his bedside.
It's been very hard when he doesn't open his eyes and when he doesn't make no response. And then I'm wondering what's going on. You know, are there any brain functions? What's going on? And that's when all my kind of fears set in one respect, you know, because you don't know. And then when I ask him a question and then he might blink, then I know that he's understood what I've said.